what made this a Chicago booth event rather than just any other event is something that I think was a wonderful statement for Chicago booth's positioning, was when Eric, who is, and I said this during the session, and I'll say it again, Eric Lefkofsky is the most successful entrepreneur in the world in the last 10 years. Because nobody else that I know of has started 4 companies that are IPO type quality. And what did he say? He said, you're in one of these businesses and you get intoxicated by data. Well, that is such a wonderful statement, because what it tells you is the world has gotten more analytical, more data intensive, and it really matters to understand it and get it right. And we are really good at thinking about data here, tying it to business, and then using it. What Matt said, is loose analogies are dangerous, because when, in the dot-com era, anything that said .com, all of a sudden got valued at, 10 times what it had been valued before. And I think that did happen in the dot-com era. You had some valuations that certainly after the fact were crazy. And I think the response from Eric was that investors don't make the same mistake twice. And the sophisticated investors now are not investing that way. When they buy a LinkedIn, they're buying a company where A, it is making money, and B, there are these network effects involved that suggest that it's likely to make more money in the future rather than fall apart like a pets.com. The difference, as I said, between now and in dot-com days is these companies are largely making money, right? In the dot-com days, these companies were losing a lot of money. And some of them ended up doing very well, like Amazon, but many of them failed. Here, these companies are all making money. So that's why I'm more optimistic about these companies today versus .com. Whether the valuations are right, again, I don't know, and that's what Eric was saying he didn't know. Rashad said to Eric, Groupon just completely came out of nowhere in Chicago. It was right under our noses. We didn't see it happening, and then one day it was this huge company and now a global brand. Everyone was saying that these businesses have exploded, and they're very viral, they're very networked. So again, once you get this critical mass, then everybody gets on. And that is the potential strength of these businesses. That's what we talked about. That's why you have to be a little bit nervous. Is there something around the corner that's going to take you out? But I find that that's just the way the world is now. The key thing is customers. And venture capitalists refer to this as will the dogs eat the dog food? So what they find with Groupon is there are lots of dogs want to eat that dog food. You have these two views. One view is that the internet and technology has been terrific and has led to big improvements. And then you've got this other view that, it hasn't really increased employment. It hasn't, haven't seen it in the GDP numbers. It's much less of an advance than people think. I am much more in the camp of it's made a big difference. Globally, there's been a huge increase in the number of people living above the poverty level. And, a lot of that is concentrated in China and India. But, why are they living above the poverty level now? Because technology allows us to buy their stuff. And that is unbelievable. You're talking about hundreds of millions of people. Rashad said that these companies like Apple and Google don't care about Wall Street. My reaction was bravo, because there are some companies that pay too much attention to Wall Street and try to sort of figure out, okay, what does Wall Street want? I'm going to try to deliver that. And that's completely wrong. But assuming your business is generating cash, which these businesses are, all you care about is making your business more valuable. I think people are a little bit underestimate how good Wall Street is at figuring things out, but invariably there are times when Wall Street gets it wrong, and when Wall Street gets it wrong, you should ignore Wall Street and do what's best for your business.